My name is Keegan Braun, and this is my final assessment from the Level 1 field experience. So again, my name is Keegan Braun. I am currently a junior at the University of South Florida studying elementary education. I was born in the state of Illinois, a small little town, and I moved to Florida at the end of my fifth grade year. I've always enjoyed, working with kids, being around kids, whether that's babysitting. I also used to coach gymnastics, and over the summer, I'm actually a camp counselor slash staff member. So this is about my student for privacy reasons. In this, I have her named as Jay, and she is in kindergarten. She is a very kind and compassionate student. You can tell she really loves being in school. She's very helpful, whether she's helping her peers or, another teacher, her teacher. Um, and she just, loves getting to help out and be there. She really enjoys math and counting. She shared that those were things that she really liked doing when it came to school subjects. She likes all of the colors. She told me how much she loved the rainbow and all the colors that are part of the rainbow. Another thing she loves are animals. And she told me that her favorite movie to watch is Barbie. So the first assessment we did was the concepts of print assessment. The purpose of this assessment was basically just to see what all the student already knew about the different like parts and like aspects of a book or like a text. So over here to the side, I included an image of the questions that we asked the student, just so you could get an idea of what she was asked. Um, she was able to get 9 out of the 11 questions that we asked correct. So that was very good. The two that she didn't get correct were where the spine of the book was and the title page, which was kind of a little bit expected just because, that's not necessarily something they would have learned already in kindergarten, especially so early in the year. Um, so she didn't get those right, but that's okay because she has plenty of time to learn. She could tell how observant she was, very like hands-on. Um, and when we asked her a question and she had to answer, she, gave herself time to think, and then shared an answer that she felt confident with. And an instructional recommendation for this is keep in mind what repeats. So good books for this activity are Brown Bear, and Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, because there are lots of repetition in these books. Like for example, in Brown Bear, the book goes, Brown Bear, what do you see? And the brown bear goes, I see a red bird looking at me. And then it goes, Red Bird, what do you see? The red bird says, I see a yellow duck staring at me. So it just is kind of like the same thing with different animals and colors, but like over and over again. So that repetition. Now, the second assessment we did was the phonological awareness test or the PASS test. And the purpose of this assessment was again just seeing, what all the student knew about phonological awareness. This was an assessment that we knew might be a little bit more difficult just because of how early in the year it was. In kindergarten, she's still kind of learning all of these things. This includes things like letter sounds, syllables, onset and rhyme, things like that. This one again had 11 total questions. She only got 4 out of the 11 correct. And again, this was definitely the assessment she struggled with the most. But again, she gave herself time to think before answering. And when she did answer, she seemed pretty confident in her answers. Even if they weren't completely right, she was still confident in what she was answering. And an instructional recommendation is that for this is to take the word apart and then put it back together. So here I have a video. This is the take the word apart and put it back together method. So the word for this is underground. So you just take each part of the word and take it apart. So we have under, ground. and then you put it all together. Underground. And then the third and final assessment we did this semester was the primary spelling inventory. So again, the purpose of this was to just see how much the student knew. This one was basically like a spelling test. Um, this was one that, she really had to try and use her strategies to figure out, because a lot of the words that we, included in this assessment are words she has not learned how to spell yet. Um, but there were 7 words total that we went through. She only got 3 out of the 7 completely correct. And then for all the other words, she got at least some part of that word correct. So she still did very good. She did use her strategy, one strategy that they use in class, which is just sounding out the word and trying to spell it out as best as you can, which was really nice to see, because some students don't always think like, oh, let me use a strategy. So it was very nice to see, she's like, oh, I remember, like, if I don't know how to spell something, try my best, sound it out, use this strategy. And an instructional recommendation for this is the cover and slide. This is the cover and slide method. So the word is plastic. Pull and you put it all together. Plastic. Here I have included 5 book recommendations for Jay that I think she would really enjoy, and why. So the first one is The Color Monster by Anna Yanis. This is a book that is, full of colors, but it also helps kids identify, their emotions and like how they're feeling, which at, 5 and 6 years old, that's sometimes difficult. The second book is If Animals Went to School by Anne Paul. So this is a mix of animals, which she really enjoys. And it also talks about, animals going to school, which, she goes to school and she spends a lot of time in the classroom. So something she can also relate to. The third book is The Mission of Addition by Brian P. Cleary. This is just a fun book that includes math. So it's reading, but it also includes math. Number 4 is Barbie in a Mermaid Tale by Christy Webster. This combines 2 things she enjoys watching, which is Barbie and mermaids. And number 5 is We Have a Plan by Chris Houghton. This is just a cute, fun book, but it's also one that she can read on her own. And then in conclusion, after completing all 3 of these assessments with the student, I can tell how much she loves to learn and wants to get better. And, I learned that, she is very good at coming up with strategies and using her strategies to come up with solutions for things. She's very smart and dedicated, and I think she has a bright future ahead of her. So that is all for my assessment. So thank you.